Ladies and gentlemen, Lennie Prosper is in the house. Can we get some thumbs up in the box, please, if you can hear us? A little round of applause, little claps and cheers and all that sort of stuff.
Thank you.
So, there you go. Right. So, mate, tell us what's going on. Tell us who you are, first of all. Tell us whatever you want to know. Us to know about you before.
What can I tell you? I'm Lennie Shinehead Prosper, as the name clearly says.
Why Shinehead? Why Shinehead?
Why Shinehead? Because I've got a shiny head, mate.
Do I get out the pictures now of you with your afro and the wet look?
No, don't get the ones out. No, that's for a later date.
Go on then. Go.
The next time I'm on my deathbed. I'm an IT tutor, IT support guy. I've known John for many years. I don't know why I've stayed friends with him, but yeah, we're good buddies. And he's dragged me onto his show to bore you all.
No, not to bore, to educate, to share, to enlighten, to teach.
Yeah, bore. Yeah.
Okay, and then so tell us about your life 3 months ago. What was you doing? How was it?
My life 3 months ago. Oh, I was clubbing, out for a good drink every now and again, cycling, walking, having a good laugh with mates. Spent most of my life just enjoying myself.
Would you say you're a happy person?
Yeah, I'd say I'm happy. Yeah.
Healthy?
Happy. Healthy? Yeah. Type 2 diabetic, but coping with it. Yeah.
Tell us about your health, Glenn.
My health. What can I tell you? Oh, the odd bits and pieces happen every now and again. Suffer from IBS, under control. Stress, high blood pressure. Yeah. Other than that, pretty normal.
I would honestly say, of all the people I know, including all the comedians in the country, all the top comedians in the country, you're one of the happiest people. You, Tasha, Rhiannon, who's on here, my Toria. You're in an executive bunch of happy, healthy people, right? Well, healthy, and Dawn, of course, but happy people. And just go through life. I don't think I've ever seen you angry in 30 years. Don't think I've ever heard you moan about your health. You moan about most things. You moan about that squeaky noise in your car or the bike or me back or me elbow. But generally speaking, very upbeat, positive, a good example of how you can get through life with a cheery disposition, right?
Yeah. Oh, right. So, pretty well there.
So what happened?
Where
did it go on? Yeah.
Where'd it go? It's still there, mate. I'm hopefully on the road back to that now. But yeah, I had a little hiccup. I attended a course in Liverpool Street, and I had to carry 14 laptops up there to set up for a bunch of students. On the last day, felt a little bit of tickle in my throat, so I thought maybe I'm coming down with a cold or something. Then carrying the laptops back to the train, I started feeling a little bit on the weak side. Got back home, thought, just tired and maybe got a cold or something. Didn't think much about it. Heard all about coronavirus, but didn't have any of the symptoms that they mentioned: coughing, sneezing, anything like that, fever. And went 9 days with just this little scratch in the back of my throat. And I think it was on the 9th day, I realised that I was having difficulty breathing. I bent down to pick something up in the morning and ended up putting myself back in bed again because I was just completely shot. Other half wanted to call someone, wanted to call a paramedic, and I was saying, no, leave it. And the next day she decided to call them regardless of what I said because I just couldn't get out of bed. And they turned up and looked me over and said, well, we think we might have to take you in for a little check and whatever. And I was trying to say no, but didn't have the energy to. And then they decided to put a mask on me, and that was when I passed out.
Okay, let's stop you right now. I'm going to stop you right there. We need to go back because we've got to drag this out for the best part of an hour.
I'm dragging it out, man. I'm getting to the good bits.
Tell the whole story in the first 30 seconds. We're like going, what's your favourite colour? So,
go on.
What day did you go to hospital?
What day did I go to
What
hospital? I
day?
went in on a Sunday.
Sunday.
It was what was it? Not April 1st. It was March.
Yeah.
March 30th, I think.
So that was on a Sunday, and the
Hmm.
last time I spoke to you was on the Tuesday.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this new virus and everything was going on, and it was all a load of shit and 5G and all this stuff.
That's right. Yeah.
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 And then, you know, I'd said, so I'd been working at some conferences where everyone had to use hand gel, and then we was all kind of taking the piss at this conference, touching elbows, knocking knees, kicking ankles, tapping feet, not really taking it seriously. You were still working. And normally you will send me some funny videos. I'll send you funnier videos, whatever. Everything's fine in the world, right?
Yeah.
And then so that's like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 3 days later, maybe 4, I've sent you messages and you're ignoring me, and I'm thinking, what's the matter with him, man? Why doesn't he like seeing some huge black geezer with a huge dong flying through space? What's that funny message? If it's anyone else, I'd go, I've offended them. Because it's you, I'm thinking, nah. But I didn't hear from you. Then Sunday, ambulance crew turn up. Then your missus messages me going, he's gone to the hospital. I'm like, whoa! Wait, just stop right there. I know you've had like IBS from time. I've seen the effects of it, not like literally, but I've seen when you kind of when you get stressed out, that you you get physical manifestations of an emotional state. But at what stage did you start thinking something going wrong here?
I suppose when they put that mask on me. Yeah, when the paramedics stuck the mask on and I just couldn't get any breath in my body, and then everything blacked out. I suppose that was when I thought to myself, there's something definitely wrong there. There's something seriously wrong there. And yeah.
But was you not waking up going, I've just got a cold, I've got like a heavy chest?
But it wasn't, it escalated so quickly. It went from little scratch in the throat, feeling a bit lightheaded, to can't breathe and needing 100% oxygen. It transformed in no time at all.
But look, I've known you so long. I don't, like I say, I know that if you get on a wind up, you can get a bit stressed. But I'm not even there to be annoying you. So this tickly throat, you must have woken up going, it's just a tickly throat, but I can't breathe.
Yeah, well, no, it went, like I said, it went from just being, when you've ate a crisp or something, it's gone down the wrong hole and it scratches the back of your throat. It went from that to the next day not being able to bend over and stand up again without losing breath. It just changed. I didn't have time to be scared about it. I was having trouble understanding what was going on.
So the morning when you woke up, and that's the day you went to hospital, was you waking up just feeling like you had a hangover, or you felt drunk or stoned, or?
To be quite honest, I don't remember waking up. I don't remember anything on that particular day other than the paramedics were in front of me. And I don't remember what went on before that. So
what, you're like asleep and then open your eyes and there's paramedics standing over you?
Yeah, basically. Well, I wasn't asleep. Apparently I was awake, but I just wasn't lucid. I was
what about the day before? What was the last thing you remembered from? I bet it was something to do with your car.
You're feeding me, yeah?
I think it was maybe something to move down the road so you can move your car into that space.
Yeah, somewhat. Yeah, I did move my car. Yeah, somewhat. Yeah, I wanted to go outside and move my car out of the way. Yeah, because I was looking for the gap outside so I could do some work on the car, and there was someone parked in it. They pulled out, so I wanted to pull into it. Yeah.
Oh, mate, you're so predictable. So then your Pat, good question from Pat. What stage is like praying? How did you feel? Pat, we're going to get onto that, mate. We're going to get onto that.
No praying.
So you go to bed, you're feeling a bit sore throat, tired, whatever. Then you open your eyes, the paramedics are standing there. And then did you not feel confused or?
No, I didn't I don't think I was. I think I was hallucinating most of the time because I just didn't feel or understand anything. I was answering questions and didn't know what I was saying. I wasn't really listening to what they said. I I don't remember. I don't remember what day that particularly was until the other half told me. I don't know what time of day it was. I was just going with the flow.
Okay. All right. Do you remember the ambulance journey to hospital?
No, I remember getting into the back of it and thinking, "Oh, the neighbours are going to be watching."
Oh, was you on the stretcher with the all the
No,
bits
no,
on it?
I walked to it. I walked to the ambulance.
But like, what? And was you wearing one of your silk dressing gowns? Was you trying to look like sexy? What was you wearing? Was you wearing like your pajamas or what?
I know I had some stripy gym pants on, mate. Yeah, MC Emma
And like a
gym
vest.
pants. Yeah. So I looked aside.
So you get out of right. Okay. So you open your eyes. There's paramedics. You're like, did you know what was going on?
No, not straight away. I wanted to know. I suppose I was trying to think to myself, why have I got paramedics standing around me? It's not that bad. I've only got a scratchy throat. And then I realised that I just couldn't get any breath in, and I couldn't answer the questions that they were asking me. And then one of them went, put a mask on him.
So Sharon Dobinson, who is now one of my favourite people in the world, guys, if you've got questions, put the questions in, please. Sharon's going, that's the lack of oxygen to the brain. Now, Sharon, please reveal yourself. Are you a qualified medic? Are you a doctor, a consultant, or a Google doctor? Or did you see a documentary and you now know? I'm really hoping that she's like, no, like, you know, I work for the council, but I know a lot of stuff about health because I read a lot of stuff, you know. So what I want to know is was it a lack of oxygen to the brain, or were you, Lennie, feeling them symptoms? I was like a barrister, then, wasn't I? Were you, Mr. Prosper, feeling them symptoms? Right. So you get in the back of the ambulance, and then you got the journey to the hospital. To the ambulance, what are they called? Paramedics, aramedics. Paramedics. Did one of them get in the back with you?
Yeah. Yeah, one was the other one had to drive, so they couldn't both get in the back with me.
And then did you talk all the way to the hospital?
No, I don't remember a conversation. No.
Was you lying there with just the mask on, like that?
Yeah, I was on 100% oxygen by that time. They pumped it in. They were pumping it into me because I just couldn't get breath. Walking to the ambulance was major stress on my lungs at the time, and I was panting like mad.
But was you looking around that ambulance going, I could do one of these. This would be perfect. I could put a sink over there.
No, I was actually looking at the paramedics because they were both female, and one of them was Australian. They had a lovely accent.
I was thinking, oh, don't worry, mate. We'll have you sorted out right as rain. Was it one of those ones? Or was it one of those, oh, don't be a bloody bludger, mate. What's the matter with you? You need to get over yourself.
No, that was the formal one.
The second one. The formal one. Hey, mate, you're going to be fine. You're like, can I get your number for when you're out of hospital? Now, so then you go into hospital, right? They take you in. Did you go into A&E through all the people with saucepans on their heads? And
I don't remember arriving at the hospital.
Wow.
I remember coming. Yeah, the first thing I remember was being in the. I'm not sure what they call it. It's a major triage room that they got in there, and they put me in that triage room and stuck me in this little bay, and loads of doctors were running around with masks and ventilators and whatever.
Wow. So Sharon Dobinson has now revealed herself as an accountant. I think it's more important than your medical knowledge, Sharon. If you want to buy a new car, just have interest.
You don't do it when you've got no oxygen. Yeah.
But Tasha, who's downstairs pretending to be me, if you get a text message from Tasha, right? And Tasha is doing a clinical education master's degree. So just to chop out a bit of the story, but we'll come back to you. So you got to understand, Len, Tasha's doing a master's degree at King's College, the world's top teaching hospital. And so she's in her lesson, and the lecturer, and they're all sitting in these rows in this theatre, and the lecturer's up there, and there's all consultants and clinicians and doctors, and the lecturer's probably saying something like, so if you give 22 mils of adrenaline and 5 mil of neocortisone to a client in subcutaneous respiration or arteriocardioversion that will revive the patient to a level of cognitive essence of 1.2. Any questions? And Tash going, yeah, I've got a question. Our friend's just gone into hospital. And he was wearing striped pajama bottoms. What's happening to him? And I'm not kidding you. She's asking these. She's texting me. I'm going, I've got a consultant from Guy's, and his wife's brother works at Whips. So what I don't understand is, how do you go to having that? You got tickly throat. You go to bed. You wake up. There's paramedics. We're in the back of an ambulance. Now suddenly you're on a ward. Like, how does that make you feel?
Immediately, there is no feeling. I was trying to connect everything together, and they left me there for maybe 6 hours in this triage room.
Wow.
And the connections just weren't coming. I was fine a couple of days ago. I was doing bits and pieces. I was out walking. I was enjoying myself. I was happy. And now I'm lying in a triage room. I couldn't connect it. So I spent 6 hours basically frustrated with people shoving needles and cannulas and whatever into me and whatever. And I had no idea what was going on. I was gone. And I think it was at that point I felt my first bit of fear, in that I didn't know what was going on. Nobody had said anything as to what it was. Nobody had given any, diagnosis as to what I was feeling. They were just basically coming in, stick a needle in, shove a thermometer in, and walking off again and not saying a word to me. And then a doctor came over and went, right, you've definitely got COVID-19. And I was like,
wow.
What? And he went, yeah, coronavirus, you've got it. And then he walked away.
This is in triage, or is this in the ward?
This was in triage.
And at that stage, what was your knowledge of COVID, and what was your expectation?
My expectation was like, yeah, dead. I'm on my way out. I thought COVID-19, if you've gone to that stage, then, it's only leads one particular way. I didn't understand that there was any recovery from it, and nobody had given me any indication that I was possibly going to recover. Just, I've got COVID-19 and I'm on my way out. I'm checking out.
And then, so in your head, and this is before you've gone on the ward, were you not then thinking, I should have made my peace, or was your thinking, I'm going to get through this, or where was your brain?
I didn't have any of those thinking. I was just lying there, looking at the lights, looking at these people running backwards and forwards, and just trying to put things together in my head, trying to put them in their relevant slots, in their relevant boxes, and trying to map out what I was doing. And it wasn't coming. It didn't come together at all whilst I was in the triage room. Or once I got on the ward, it took a long time before I started piecing together where I was, what probably was happening, and what was happening. And I wasn't lucid.
So, and you got to understand that. So, while you're going through this on your own, it's like in normal times you'd have someone with you. You'd have about 30 of us outside drinking rum, going, "He's going to make it, mate. Turn the music up. Put the music up." So you're on your own. Yeah.
That. I suppose that rattles you as well, in the fact that you've got nobody to bounce off of. You've got no one to. Oh, did you see that doctor coming in? He didn't even talk to me. Next time a nurse goes by, can you ask them? I had nobody. I was just there, just me, and all I could see were people being rushed in and being checked over and then being rushed out again, and nurses and doctors with really serious faces and masks on, just hurrying in and out. It's just strange.
Really, at that stage, were you like mentally alert and aware of what was going on, do you think?
No, no, I wasn't mentally alert. I was aware, but not fully aware. I could see people. I could see stuff was going on. I could see they were being serious. I don't think I took it seriously. Even though I heard the COVID, I still didn't take it seriously. Oh, well, scratchy throat. I haven't got COVID. They've got it wrong. And then later on, yeah, maybe they've got it right. Especially when I couldn't pick myself up off the bed and couldn't sit up, and raising my arms were difficult, and my legs were killing me at that time. My whole body felt like I'd taken a really good kicking, and it got worse. It wasn't getting any better.
So before we move on, great questions coming in from Teresa, from Pat, from people.
Hi, Pat.
We will, but we're trying to get to questions when we get to the relevant bit of it. Guys, if you've got any questions, please put them in. Any comments, put them in. If you're listening, watching, just give us a little hello, thumbs up. Because
hi, Teresa, by the way. I did see your note saying that your case of friends and whatever know me.
Look at you. Always busy, isn't he? There now. Oh,
you have to be, mate.
He's a busy little bloke, isn't he? Busy. Leslie's saying she'll have to watch this later. I've got to go. Lennie, I don't know you, but John has told us about you when this is happening. I'm glad you're okay. Stay well. Thanks for sharing the story. Leslie lives in New England, right? And Leslie's probably going to go out now to help the poor or visit people, because that's what she does, mate. She's one of those.
Good on you, Leslie.
Hang on, you haven't heard the whole story yet, but when you stay with her, she sleeps with this oxygen thing on her mouth, right?
CPAP.
And then I got up to go to the toilet in the night, and all I heard from her room was these kind of. I thought her and her husband were having some kind of proper set to get together, and it wasn't. The next morning over breakfast, she went, "Did you sleep all right?" I went, "Well, actually, no, you asked, no, because you two need to keep the noise down and just, cut out a kinky when you got visitors." But it wasn't. She's got this mask that she wears. Anyway, so
yeah.
Just quickly go. Wayne's watching as well. Wayne,
yeah. Hi, Wayne.
Pat, mate, Pat. We're going to talk about. So there's no point, Pat. So let me introduce you to Patrick Rolling. He's one of the nicest human beings on the planet, and he's a Celtic fan, and he gave me one of the best days out of my life last year. But we'll talk about it in a minute. No, Pat, there's no point mentioning football to Len. You might as well talk about quantum physics or something. Teresa, brilliant. Thank you for staying. Teresa, actually, brilliant. If you need any financial planning, maybe Len, you should talk to Teresa. Really
okay.
Good. And Steph, does anyone want to hold your hand? Steph, I think
did anyone hold your hand? Yeah. No, nobody held my hand.
No one's hold your hand. So you're in hospital and you're on your own. You ain't got your family and friends around you. When Tasha was in hospital, they had to put on extra security because I went up one day. I'm not kidding you. I went to the hospital one day, and she's in ICU, whatever you call that. When they're like beep, beep, and all that stuff going on, and there's like 8 people in the room. And I'm like, what's going on? You all come because understand. From my background, it's like if you are come to watch her die, but it was because they wanted to be there for it. And mate, you would have had like 100 people in it easily, 101 if you didn't annoy me. It'd be 100, but then I'd annoy everyone else, and they'd leave you me. But I see you. There you go. That's what it's called, Tasha. Thank you very much for letting me know. So you go into the ward and you go into the bed, and then what happens? That first night when you was in bed. You was just left on your own. That first night you were in bed, did you feel you was going to die?
Initially, no. I was too tired to feel anything. I was just lying there, watching all these people around me, hoping that I didn't catch COVID, and then realizing I've already got it. And then it was just backwards and forwards, trying to think, like I said, of where things had gone, how they'd gone from me being out there doing stuff to ending up in a hospital bed in isolation with all these people with masks running around me. And they left me alone for maybe another 4 or 5 hours in the bed. And then that's when it started, needles being shoved in. and one of the most painful things I've ever had, which was blood oxygen tests. I've never felt pain like it. Yeah, I've had blood drawn before. I give blood every month. Not give blood. Having blood taken every month because of my diabetes. But
is that your diabetes or CSA? What's that all about?
No.
So yeah, they're having a diabetes test every month.
Yeah. But no, they do your blood oxygen, and they have to do it right on the junction of your wrist. It's kind of right there, okay. And they put a needle in, and the way that they put it in is excruciatingly. Oh, it really, really hurts. Normally I can take needles, but that was, and then they did that every 2 hours. So every time I nodded off, I was woken up and said, right, we're going to do blood oxygen, bang, and then shove this needle in again. And each time they did it, they went, oh no, low oxygen, turn the oxygen up some more. And they just kept pumping oxygen into me, changing the masks every time, giving me a bigger mask and a bigger mask, really, really shoving oxygen into my body. And yeah, when they weren't there, I fell asleep.
So you're just sleeping and waking up, sleeping and waking up.
Yeah, it wasn't a proper sleep.
Was you dreaming?
No.
You literally close your eyes and then out, and then 2 hours ago.
That's it. I was passing out. I wasn't really dreaming. I was passing out.
Wow. And a coach making a very interesting point. It's terrifying, mate. Just sounds, unbelievable. Ricky Ticky, he's a counsellor, so obviously he wants to know how long before somebody came to talk to you to reassure you.
Nobody reassured me. I had a very young female nurse come to me. She says, right, I'm going to be dealing with you, blah, blah, blah. Okay. How long did you have your cough? And I said, I didn't have a cough. I've never had a cough. She said, how long have you been sneezing? I didn't sneeze. I said, all I've had was a scratchy throat. Oh, okay. So she wrote this down on the notes. And then she called me by the wrong name. And I said, no, my name's Lennie Prosper. Oh, right. Okay. So she scribbled that out and thought, okay, right. They can make mistakes. There's a lot of people around. And she said, right, you've got COVID-19. Yes. We're going to give you some antibiotics because we also believe that you've got pneumonia as well. Okay, fair enough. And then she walked off. Bunch of nurses come in, stuck some more needles in me, and that was it. I didn't see anybody for another 6 to 8 hours.
Okay, so we got people watching but not commenting. So if you are watching, please just leave us a comment, a thumbs up, a thumbs down. This guy's an actor. This is fake news. He's just I don't even know the guy. He's like an American actor, just pretending to be. What can he say?
Yeah, apparently I'm a wolf.
Teresa, we saw you comment about lifting up sheets and looking at you, Willie, but we thought we would kind of maybe give it a miss. So Rachel Ramsey is like my sister, mate. She's like my heart. So she's saying, truly so scary what's happened to you. Can't even imagine. So glad you're healthy and well. We don't take our health for granted. My question is, when are you going to come up northeast with John and Tasha? Rachel tonight rang me up and said, I just feel like Lennie's my friend. I've known him all my life. And she, my Rachel, I love my Rachel. So it's nice that she's taking in on it. Steph is saying, needle straight in the artery hurts like hell. Anna Coates is trying to guess the hospital. I think it's Whips Cross Hospital. Anna, you've been on that farm too long with that dog on your own in a caravan, mate.
Apparently, yeah.
So what we did miss, though, was your mate, the accountant. she made a diagnosis. Sharon Dobinson. Well done, Sharon. Good point there on what it is. Oh yeah, it's just like trying to keep up with it. So if anyone's watching and listening, please leave us a comment. Let us know you're there. Let us know that you're interested. At the end of this, what we do is we'll go, should he have lived, should he have died? We'll have a vote, and if you think he should have died, I'll go around and just cut his throat and kill him. So happy days. Everyone's a win-win. Steph,
Thank you for that.
did the nurses and doctors have photos of themselves on their uniforms?
No,
Steph,
they didn't.
Elaborate. Why would they have photos? Like,
No, they do. Apparently in the COVID wards now they do have badges with their name and their faces. They've realised it's so impersonal for the patients to see someone coming up to them in a mask and not knowing what they look like behind the mask. So they now have big pictures, big smiley pictures, and their names.
What, so this is my name. Hi, my name's Steph. This is a picture of me in the RAF in 1998. Look at how gorgeous I was. You want it, you can have it. You want it, you can have it. So, hang on. I think, and Coatsy, you've lost the plots, mate. You've lost the plot. We're going to try, because now we've got a lot of people making comments, so
yeah,
overdone it here. Sharon Dobinson, the accountant, who's now my new best friend. Was the treatment similar to being on a CPAP machine? Look at his face. He's got no idea what a CPAP machine is.
Oh, I think I do.
Because you love electrical gadgets. Let's be honest, Len. You love machinery. You would love to have a CPAP. If I come around your house on Monday and went, Len, I need a CPAP machine, you'll go, I've got one in my Aladdin's cave.
Yeah, I've got something similar to a CPAP.
I could lock something up very similar to a CPAP using this balloon and a bread bin.
Yeah.
So,
but it is very similar to that, yeah, in that they rush oxygen into your body.
So my Tasha, who's downstairs as my producer, director, and all the rest of it, because she's been in ICU like 5 times. She's got a long service medal from ICU from all the times she's been in. She's now suggesting you're a wuss because she's had it 3 times, didn't even wince. Cindy Sweeney in New England, thank you so much for. It's probably 4 in the afternoon. Cindy was the girl who came on when we was doing our rehearsal earlier, who had the really inappropriate for a white person curly hair. You know what I mean? On a black person, you can do tight curly hair. On a white person, you're like, that looks like witness protection. What are you doing, Cindy?
It looked lovely, Cindy.
Look at him. That's why he's a charmer. We're working, Cindy. We're working. Good guy, bad guy. Tasha downstairs in the box. I do clinical communication. Did any doctor or nurse explain what was going on with you? No, he's explained that. Pat is talking about how they usually just prick his ear with a needle to check his blood oxygen. Pat himself, if you don't mind me saying so, big man, had a little bit of a health scare this week. Let us know how you got on with that. That would be much appreciated. Coatsy, Anna Coates, would be too scared to go on her own, but you wouldn't be on your own, would you? Because Ricey would be just outside the window or maybe 12 miles away on a boat. So, Pat, you know what? For Pat to go, he would have been terrified. Pat is Scottish, and Scottish people are the scariest people in the world, as we all know. Let's be honest, right? Come on. Who is more scarier than Scottish? Like, a Scottish person goes, I love you! They just sound hostile. They are the scariest people on the planet.
Mate, I have to disagree. Glasgow and Aberdeen, completely different sides of the road.
Where was it you rang me from and you couldn't believe how friendly everyone was? Was that Glasgow?
That was Edinburgh.
Edinburgh.
It was Edinburgh.
Okay. I can't believe how friendly everyone is.
They were lovely. Inviting me into their houses, buying me drinks in the pub. It was lovely.
Oh, mate. Right, so now we're getting to it. Wayne White in the house. Did you take distancing serious? Right. Did you take distancing serious? Do you know where you contracted it? Wayne and his Jamaican blood, right? So there's this whole thing about black British. Are you black or are you British, right? And let me tell you how you find out. It's when your health comes into it. Because British people go, I've got a cold, moan, moan, moan. But black people, especially Jamaicans, go, I've got a cold. Who'll give it me? I'll go find him. So Wayne wants to know, did you take distancing serious before you contracted COVID?
Well, I did, Wayne, but there was some telephone masts being put up in the area. No.
Oh!
What I found out when I did when I went to the lecture in Liverpool Street was the tutor said to me on the last day as I was wrapping the laptops up, I just got back from Italy last Friday.
Whoa.
And I was like, what? And he said, yeah, I went out to visit some friends out in Italy. And I got back last Friday and I'm okay. And I was like, really? and he didn't seem to find any problem with it. But I think that's where I got it from.
But you know that in Italy, they the Chinese. If this is racist, fucking go yourselves. The Chinese were having like 20 to 30,000 visitors a week going back and forwards to Italy from China.
Yeah.
And like it or not, the world has to accept this came from China. Spanish flu came from Spain. Clues in the title, right? So why are we calling this COVID, not China flu? Whole different ball game. But we're going to that another time. Another time.
Samsung phones, mate.
Well, yeah. Cindy Crawford. Yeah, so scary. Solitude must have been really hard. I guess, was that the hardest part? Being on your own in hospital?
Yeah, it is. You've got on your own with no communication. I had my phone, but I didn't have a phone charger, and I wasn't allowed anybody to send me a phone charger. They couldn't lend me a phone charger, so I had a dead phone sat in front of me. So I couldn't speak to anybody. There was nobody. I couldn't make that connection with a nurse or a doctor because they were rushing around and they were faceless. I was just all by myself. And that is.
Let's be honest, right? You are Inspector Gadget. So that must have been the longest you've been out with some kind of electronic communication system your whole life.
It was kind of,
Because you got a smartphone, didn't you? You got a smartphone.
Yeah, I got a smartphone, and I was looking at ways of plugging it into the bed.
And you got an Amazon, and you got like a Kindle in you as well. You got a Kindle.
I've got a Kindle, yeah.
And you got a Samsung Galaxy tablet as well, yeah.
I've got 3 or 4 of them.
Okay, and you got you got your PC as well, yeah. You got your PC.
PCs.
And you got your laptops as well. Yeah, you got laptops as well.
And a Mac and all of that, yeah, all of that.
So so really, that must have been, you got no buttons to press. You'd have played with a till, wouldn't you? Someone put you in a till, you'd have gone, oh, it's electric. No.
If I'd had the energy, yeah, I probably would. But I didn't even have the energy to get up and take myself to the toilet. So no, I couldn't even raise my hand to scratch my head.
Shocking. So I wonder then. So you wake up like on a Monday. It must have been just a blow. Just waking up, go to sleep. Waking up, go to sleep.
Yeah. That was all I basically did. And then, but most of the night, I suppose I was just wide awake, stark awake, because I suppose that was the first time I thought about dying. It got to about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I thought about, I'm gonna leave. I'm going. I'm not going to go to sleep just in case I don't wake up again. So I didn't go to sleep. My eyes were rooted open.
So then that's then the Monday, and the breathing's not getting any better. And then the Tuesday comes, and the breathing's not getting any better. It's getting worse.
That was when they put me in a side ward.
And then what did they come and tell you they're going to move you to a side ward?
Suddenly everybody just was mobilised, all came rushing in, unplugged me, said, right, we're moving you to a side ward, but you need some extra care. We're putting you in a room by yourself. And I was like, really? Didn't ask any questions, well, couldn't ask any questions, just got shoved in this room all by myself and then left. I was there for about maybe 3-4 hours. And then a doc came in, another young guy, didn't really have any bedside manner about him, just said, right, we're going to fit you with a catheter. Which Steph just asked, did they catheterize you? And they fitted me with this catheter, which was the most painful thing other than those injections that I've ever had.
Just for people who don't know what a catheter is, what do they do?
It's when they stick a tube up your willy and give you a bag inside your bed.
In your Jap's eye, all the way into your bladder.
All the way up your Jap's eye. It feels like they pushed it right up in your belly. And then little pipe coming off of it going down to a bag next to you.
Right, little pipe.
Go for a week.
Why was it little, Len? Why was it only a little pipe, not a big pipe? Did you not go to them? Hang on, I want a bit. I want a bigger pipe. Where's this tiny pipe? Dave, for me, that's a kid side. Remember the adult
grateful
size?
for the little one, thank you. That one, that I felt that enough. But once they stuck that in and I tried using it, it's so much pain. I was lying there in that bed and realizing what was going on. Firstly, I'd been moved, so something was different to all the other
into the
patients.
sideboards, into the sideboards, and then you have this catheter put into you.
That's
so
right. Yeah.
Clearly,
Something was about to happen. So
and
I
then
thought
you're still on your own. You've been on your own now 3 days.
And it happened to be my birthday, so I'm lying there thinking, happy birthday. Yeah. And then the thoughts just kept going through my head. They're going to put me on a ventilator. That's why they put the catheter on me, because they're going to put me into a coma and then put me on a ventilator. And I was thinking, no, this is wrong. This can't be right. I can't die on my birthday. I can't die on the same day I came in. And then that just filled my head and just kept on going around and round and round. And yeah, I was losing it. I had a good cry. I had a good bawl, to be quite honest. I was in a room on my own. I didn't have to, save any blushes or whatever. No one could see me. No one was there. And then I was thinking to myself, I came out of a room where I watched all these people lying around me. And the one thing that stuck with me about them was you could see the life ebbing away from them. It was as they were lying in the bed, they were just draining away. And I thought, I don't want to go. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to go. Not just yet. I haven't done all the things I want to do. So I decided I'm going to get up and walk, and I'm going to do a little bit of exercise. Because one of the things I did hear one of the doctors say, we're going to test you a bit later on and see how far you can walk without the oxygen, and see whether your oxygen levels have come down and whether we can turn it down a bit. So I thought if I walk around a bit, I'll get a bit of extra exercise in beforehand.
Okay, so I walked. I just want to stop you for a second before you start about walking, right? Because you're in this hospital bed on your own. You're in a side ward, so it's serious. So what was happening? What about the people around you in the ward before you went into the side ward? How were you getting on with your fellow patients?
There was no conversation. Nobody spoke to anybody. If anything, eye contact was very, very limited. People just looked away. It was almost like a feeling of shame that you were in there. I found out later on that none of them came in with COVID. All of them came in for other things, such as the guy across from me had slipped and broken his hip and got COVID whilst he was in the hospital being treated for it. The guy just to the right came in for kidney dialysis and got COVID. The woman to the left of me broke her toe and got COVID. But, my battery's running low. I also found that, just a minute, I'm trying to find my lead. Yeah, that 3 people had left from beds next to me. They just disappeared in the middle of the night.
So they died?
Yeah, they died. Yeah. And then they had the first thing I knew of them was when the deep clean team comes in the middle of the night, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, completely scrubs down the beds, the curtains, the floors, and everything else. Spend an hour on each bed cleaning them up, and then gone. And these people just disappeared. And I thought, I was looking at him just the other day, and could see the light going out. And I don't want to go the same way he went.
So meanwhile, we're out here in the real world, and the missus is kind of keeping people up to date. Tasha's messaging consultants at 11 o'clock at night going, this is so and so and so and so and so and so and so. These are the symptoms. What do you think? He's up to 15 litres of oxygen. 15.
Yeah.
You go, wow, man, this is serious shit now, isn't it? This is like this is proper real. And then she said, you're moving into a side ward and you got the catheter put in as well. And our friends, our experts are telling us this is not good, mate. This is not looking good. And you need to prepare yourselves.
Yeah. That's what was going through my head. Imagine you guys talking to each other.
Yeah.
I was sitting there, and that was going through my head, and it was echoing. It was getting louder and louder and louder. And I wanted to scream. I wanted to run out of the place. It just, I don't think I've ever been that scared. People might say it's brave or whatever. No, there was no bravery in there at all. I was scared. Totally scared.
And then it's hard because, it's a powerlessness. We're all big, strong men, right? But actually, you know what? We're now all like 50 plus, and we're all now suddenly getting into that frail group. What was you thinking when you was watching the telly? Tell them about when you was watching the telly, watching the news.
What do you mean with all all they kept on saying was coronavirus? This many people were dead. This many people were dying. This many people, and it was just, I was being bombarded because the hospital, for some reason, they've got these stupid TVs over the top of the bed that the only time you can view them freely is for 3 hours in the morning of breakfast TV. So you can watch Good Morning Britain, Hello Britain, all that crap stuff that comes on in the morning. And that's all they ever go on about is coronavirus and the deaths and how difficult it was and how painful and whatever. And you're being brainwashed. But it was infuriating watching it. I had to turn it off and move away from it. I didn't want to hear anything about that. And that was the only entertainment available. There was no magazines, there was no newspapers, no books. There was nothing else to do other than listen to this TV going off. Not even any music.
So then they put you in the side ward, got in a catheter, they're going to ventilate. What happened?
Well, once I started walking, once I decided to start walking.
Why did you decide to start walking?
Because I thought muscle waste. Yeah, basically. I've been lying around doing nothing for so long. That can't be good. There's no way that can be good for anybody, just lying there. So if I keep moving and start pushing some of the blood around my body and getting some of those muscles going and whatever, surely that's got to be better for me. So I walked up and down, and I did feel better. I could look out the window. I could look out the window out of the door every now and again. So I just kept walking up and down. I basically doing a Forrest Gump. I just kept on walking, and then that made me want to walk some more. So I just kept on, and I maybe walked for 2 hours, 3 hours. And then the nurse came in and said, "What are you doing? You're not supposed to be out of bed." I said, "Because I just need to walk." And she's like, "Okay, fair enough." And she went off, and I continued walking. And then the next time a doc came in, they said, "Oh, your oxygen levels are improving. We can turn your oxygen down a bit." I thought, wow, it worked. It actually worked. And then I think about an hour after that, he said, "Oh, we can take the catheter out now." I thought, oh, great. I think that was the bit I feared the most, going on the ventilator.
But you know what's interesting is a point that Teresa's made. This is going to sound stupid, but I'm so terrified of getting the virus. I've got a list of my door, everything: passwords, will, bills, bank accounts, notes. Had you done all that? Had you prepared yourself to die?
No. I had no preparation at all. No. To be quite honest, my philosophy in life was, if death comes tomorrow, I'll be happy because I've had a really good life. I've had a brilliant life. So I've never prepared for it because it's never been a problem. That particular moment, it was a problem. I didn't want to go that way.
But isn't it interesting though that so you in yourself have found that fight? Ricky Ticky has made a point of Did you feel you were going to die, or did you feel you had still some control? Could you do something to change the prognosis? Where did you get that from?
I didn't think I could do anything to change it, but I couldn't sit back. I couldn't just sit there and let it happen. That's not me. If I've always been an advocate of, if you want something to happen, you've got to do something to make it change. Take some responsibility, and my responsibility was I couldn't just sit in that bed and waste away. I had to do something.
So you did that. Prior to that, though, because obviously over about the last 12, 18 months, I think you have taken your health a bit more seriously, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, type 2 diabetes, yeah. I'd say it's a bit more than that. I mean, it's no secret, I'm 58. When I hit 50, I had my MOT, and the doc just hit me and said, right, you've got high blood pressure, you've got high cholesterol, you've got high sugar, and you're overweight. In fact, you're clinically obese. Okay, fair enough. All of these mean that you could have a heart attack, stroke. You've got stroke and heart attack in both your mother and father. They both passed from similar things. So you're susceptible to it. You need to lose weight. You need to get your cholesterol down. You need to get your sugar levels down. You need to get your blood pressure down. So it's been pills and exercise and whatever. But lately, I've been pushing a bit more and trying to get it down even more.
But you went to that crazy club you wanted me to go to on a Monday and a Thursday. What's it called?
With Monday, Wednesday.
Boot camp. Rhiannon, if you're still there. Boot camp. Really? So it wasn't like you was a slob, like, say, 5 years ago when you was a slob.
Yeah. No, I was working out, I was cycling, and I was walking. I was doing stuff.
Yeah, so, you go, all right, so you've been trying to make a difference, and then it just hit you.
Yeah. Just got picked like that. Luck of the draw.
So then you got through it. They took you off the oxygen. And then what happened? Then
it was just basically a case of just lying in the bed. They didn't do anything other than that. They kept giving me antibiotics, kept me on the oxygen, but kept turning the oxygen down. Each time they came to see me, they did the blood oxygen test. Went, oh, yeah, we seem to have more oxygen in there. Let's turn it down. Let's change your mask to the little pipe that runs into your nose. Let's turn it down. Let's turn it down and turn it down. And after a while, I was using it less and less. And then I stopped using it completely because it was making my nose bleed anyway. And then the doctor came in and went, oh, you're not using oxygen anymore. Doesn't look like you need it. I thought, yeah, I think I'm getting better. I'm getting past this. And yeah, they confirmed it. Yeah, you haven't got COVID-19 anymore. I was like, wow, can you just do that? Can it just go? I didn't actually understand that it could just go. I said, yeah, it seems to have gone from your body. It's gone. So, right, okay. And then I didn't see anybody for, I'd say, about 15 hours. I just kept seeing people going in and out of the room. Oh, actually, they moved me from the sideboard, put me into a ward, and then I just watched other people being tended to, and nothing happened. It was strange. It was surreal because I didn't know whether I was still dying or not. But I was hoping. I had a little bit of hope, and it pepped me up. So I started tidying myself up. And I think it was a nurse that came by and said, oh, it looks like you'll be going home soon. And it was just like an offhand comment. And I was like, really? And she just continued off. She walked off out. And I just laid there. And I thought, right, I'm not going to stay there. I'm going to continue my walking. So I started walking up and down the ward. I noticed one other guy saw me doing it, and he started doing it. So we were basically doing a relay. I was going up, he was going down. I was going down, he was going up. It was, we were crossing each other in the middle. But there was no conversation. We just continued doing that. And I felt better. almost, I'd say the day after I started walking, I started feeling better.
Steph wants to know, did they give you antibiotics in case it was bacterial pneumonia?
They gave me antibiotics because of the pneumonia. I had pneumonia in one lung.
Okay. Keely Blythe, is that one of your mates? Keely Blythe?
She's a good friend. Very good.
Keely, thank you for joining us. Coachy's put another comment on as well. You know what, mate? It's just so bizarre because, let's be honest, this COVID thing, it's not real. It's just not real, right?
Yeah.
It's invented by the Illuminati to get us to stay in our homes so they can put 5G pipes in the road and then give us vaccinations so they can track us all 24/7.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think people that are deluded that are walking around saying that there's no such thing and it's coming from there. It's there. It's a thing. It's not cold. It's not a heavy flu. It's not something you can just bypass. Some people are lucky; they can get it in small amounts and it doesn't affect them that much. It's hard hitting. It's like it can be like being hit by a truck. I myself was one of the lucky ones, unlucky and unlucky in the fact that I got it so bad that it almost killed me, but lucky in the fact that I made it through the other side. But so many weren't so lucky, and I honestly believe that the night of my birthday, if I just decided to just lie down and just sleep, I don't think I would have made it through. I think it would have just ravaged me and it would have taken me.
You know, that would have sounded a lot more sincere if it didn't look like you were wearing a really bad beret down the left-hand side of your head. Mate, I think I speak for everyone on here when I say we're glad that you made it through.
Thank you, mate. Thank you all.
Phenomenal, fantastic. I was like, you can't fucking die. I've got like 3 mates. If he goes, where am I going to find friends at my time of life? This has taken me years.
You told me I was your only mate.
No, I've got 2 more now, and they're not visible to other people. But if it's all right, if everyone's up for it, we'll get Lennie back on again and get him to
be a pleasure.
We can talk about other stuff. Yeah. Ricky Tick, I'm expecting you to come up with a profound closing statement. Sandy, God love you, Lennie. Keep pushing forward. That's nice. And don't mention David Icke, obviously. Chris Owen, thank you for your comments as well. But you know what, guys? It just shows that you can go out now. It's real. You get it, and you go from being healthy, fit, happy to like, all right, statistically, if you're under 45, it's not going to hurt you as much. You're maybe not as likely to get it as much. But what if you've got an underlying symptom you don't know about? All right, so Len, your BME, or as we used to say, black, before that was racist. Right? Urban, coloured, urban, whatever, right? So you're BAME, you've got diabetes, you're a little bit overweight. You're not as, when I first met you, mate, you was proper chubby club. You encouraged me. I was slim when we met. You encouraged me to join chubby club. So
yeah, mate, I lost a stone whilst I was in for the 7 days.
There you go. So you've got these, but you know what? Randomly, the thing for me that stands out most about what you said was when you looked around the ward and that guy, where's he gone? Where's he gone? Where's he gone? And they're cleaning down their beds.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You know, you got it, you got through it.
Mm.
You know?
That was reality setting in there.
Yeah. Well, maybe if guys are up for it, we'll get you back on like next week or the week after and tell us how you're getting on from that. All I can say is thanks to everyone for listening. Thanks for coming along. Thank you for commenting in the box. Thanks for
thank you.
Find him now in the Facebook Friends thing.
Yeah, please
become friends with him. And you can talk to him at 3 o'clock in the morning. He's always awake. I never do because I'm always asleep.
The reason I agreed to this interview, because I'm normally quite shy, the reason I agreed to this interview is I want to raise awareness for this. I want to do something to raise awareness for this. I don't believe that people are taking it serious enough. It's not something that's just going to pass. It's going to happen again. And I want people to be ready. I want people to protect themselves and their families from this. Because you don't want to lose it to something as stupid as this. It's a real thing.
What I love is lovely comments in the box. Thank you so much, people who took time to make a comment and to ask questions. I've got to be honest, my favourite one though is from Wayne. Have you put the stone back on? Wayne,
no way I haven't.
So, listen, Len, mate, I'll speak to you tomorrow, bruv. Everyone else, Monday night, 9 o'clock, we will be back, do it some more, maybe have a little bit of a debrief about tonight. Thanks to everyone that has put a comment in the box. Thanks to everyone that's turned up to listen. Please do find him, Lennie Shiny Prosper. Find him on Facebook. Go and make him your friend. Talk to him. If you want to see pictures of goats and people who are missing, he's your Facebook friend to have.
Thank you for that.
Thanks,
guys. Thanks,
everybody.
everybody. Thanks, John. Hello, mate.